Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hey, folks. Um, one of my friends who passed away, a while back. I miss him all the time. I called him using the Korean term, Joon Chingu. Joon Chingu means my best of best friends. And if you've read my novel series, The Powers of the Earth, you'll notice that my main character is named after him. His name was Ed, Dr. Ed Rawhut. He was a colleague of mine and just a brilliant, very sweet and caring man who taught me so much and really helped me to get to the point of writing. And anyway, his favorite poet was T.S. Eliot. And he talked about T.S. Eliot all the time. And I didn't get it, right? I was not an intellectual, even though I had at that time, become a university professor and administrator. And I was still that Minnesota farm boy. You know what I mean? I was still that military man. And all those things that had gone into me up to that point to make me who I was. Even though I had done my best to study broadly with multiple bachelor's degrees, a master's degree, and everything but my dissertation on my PhD. I thought myself educated and intelligent. But I wasn't. At least not in that way. I don't even know if I am today. I'm a learner. At least that's what I try to be. But anyway, he would quote T.S. Eliot to me to try to get me to think. And he's probably one of the people responsible for helping me to get my kids to focus on education the way that his kids did. And really got me to focus on becoming a better man. So I've got a few T.S. Eliot quotes that my friend, my Joon Chingu, would quote to me. I'm going to share them with you. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. And I didn't understand it at first. being a military person who did meteorological forecasts. That was my basic job. But I also did, planning for, man, if a nuke hit such and such a city, what would be the downwind effect of that? I always, at that point, thought that the world would end with a bang. And certainly a bang might be part of it. But it's the whimper part that I didn't understand. Because in reality, those that met their end internal to the bang would really be the fortunate ones. And those that survived afterwards in some sort of hellscape would be the ones that died in a whimper. Anyway. Next one. This is a good one. You are the music while it lasts. Don't you love that? Meaning that it's you. It's coming from here. It's coming from here. All right? You create that bubble that you exist inside. It's up to you whether or not you're going to be happy. It's up to you how you're going to react to the world. You are the music while it lasts. What a wonderful idea. It's difficult being the music. But imagine not being the music. I know people who close themselves off from everybody else in the world, and they exist inside of their own funk. And they're just miserable. They aren't the music. And so they exist in misery. Very sad. Next one. This one just kind of gets you, right? I had seen both death and birth. But I thought they were different. I think of, seeing people who are close to me pass away. And I know that they're moving on to a new existence. Just like when somebody is born, that they are coming into a new existence. And that understanding, that knowledge, helps me to deal with loss in a way that literally celebrates the transition that people make. All right? If you've watched some of the scientific things that are out there and you've seen that spark of life that happens when the sperm enters the egg, and all of a sudden there's this flash that occurs. You've probably seen the video. I don't know. If you haven't, you can look it up. You Google it. And as that becomes, instead of just the building blocks of life, it becomes an existence. And then, of course, when the child is born, you see how that existence is going to work. And then as it gets to the end, and you see that transition, and I've seen it happen now with a couple of different people, friends and family members, how in that moment of transition, they smile. Last one by T.S. Eliot. So the darkness shall be the light, and the still is the dancing. And I was like, when I first heard this one, I was like, what? So the darkness shall be the light, and the still was the dancing. And I know poets, they're alliterating, and you got to try to figure out what is being said, and then how does it connect back to me, and what is the overall message. And I think T.S. Eliot is trying to say here that number one, happiness cannot exist unless you've experienced sadness. How can you have any differentiation without having the two? You absolutely have to have darkness. Otherwise, when you have light, there is no you wouldn't know, right? And then, have you ever just been still? And that stillness in itself becomes a dance. I love to spend time out in the woods and with nature and whatnot. And I find myself getting out into the woods and finding a spot where I can just be still. So that nature can go back to its business around me. But holding myself still it takes as much effort at times that you would expend in moving about in some kind of a joyous abandon, right? And so this is kind of the message I'm trying to take away from this. That I need to be able to have both ends of the spectrum, otherwise I can't understand it. If I was in darkness in perpetuity, darkness wouldn't exist. If I was constantly in the light in perpetuity, I wouldn't understand that there was anything else. Dance could not be dance if you were constantly dancing. It would just be the way things are. And so stillness itself is also a dance. Anyway, I guess I'll cut this one off. T.S. Eliot has so much stuff out there. I mean, go out there and really take it in and absorb it. It took me a long time to get there. I had the benefit of having a Joon Chingu, such as Ed, in order to introduce me to things that I did not realize could be so powerful in my life. And I thank him. Anyway, with that, my friends, I'll let you go. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you later.